One of my favorite Star Wars books that I've listened to is Betrayed. It is the story of Malgus, the Sith Lord who destroyed the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, but he was not in charge of all the Sith. And he expected to destroy Coruscant completely, to wipe the home of the Republic and the Jedi off the face of the galaxy. Then he was wondering where his next enemy would come from. And he said, the Force will just guide me to my next enemy, because he believed in conflict. Conflict, focusing and informing those left behind in the nature and power of the Force. But the Emperor of the Sith Empire decided to discuss and plan and carry out peace with the Republic, to Malgus's utter horror and fury. And once he learned that happened, he kept on having this one thought, and you get introduced to this thought again and again in the book when he's thinking about what the Empire has become and how it's made peace with the Republic, its longtime enemy, an enemy of the Sith. Republic being also the home of the Jedi. But the phrase that kept on entering his brain was, he was trying to square a circle. Kept on trying to square a circle, because it didn't make sense. Squaring a circle in Malgus's context, I think, is he's trying to figure out where the different sides of the Force are. Like in a square, you have certain sides, and where the sides of the Republic and the Empire are. But to his utter horror, he sees them in peace as being the same thing. No sides, just all one, which infuriates him. He wants there to be clear, definite sides, a square, instead of a circle of things that are so similar that they might as well be the same thing. So eventually he does betray the Emperor and kind of make his own split off Sith Empire. Of course, that didn't work out too well for him. But he's an idealist. And he was an ideologue, committed to conflict and the dark side over everything else. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because it's a very long way to get around to my point. But we all need a place to go when we're trying to square a circle and things just don't make sense. In Malgus's case, it's a little bit different. I'm not necessarily trying to see things as different or try to figure out exactly where everything went wrong. In my case, where I go when I'm trying to square a circle, when nothing makes sense, is the graveyard. We all come under attack from, not necessarily from people. I think a lot of the time we think that we're under attack from people, and really the conflict is within. But we all find ourselves mentally in a place where we're not sure where the factors of life lie, and our future becomes or is unclear. We don't know what the universe is trying to tell us. And deep down, we know that there's some kind of change that needs to be made, or there's something that we're not quite getting, or sometimes we're completely thrown for a loop, and our whole world just feels like it's turned upside down, even when it might not actually be. We all need a place to go when we're trying to square a circle, and it just doesn't quite make sense. The graveyard is that place for me, but I think that my second favorite is, of course, nature. My favorite forest, the one that I've made so many videos in that some of you might have seen. Graveyard is my first, but forests, or my particular one specifically, are a close second. It's weird how nature and the graveyard, they both feel like living earth, if that makes any sense. Spirits in forests and in graveyards, they're very similar feeling, if that makes any sense. It's not necessarily that, you know, there's plants in graveyards and there's trees in graveyards, but there's something about the human spirit that we borrow from the earth that feels the same as nature spirits or animal spirits. And it's hard for me to describe, but the feeling is extremely similar. And maybe that's why a forest is my close second and a graveyard is my first. But everything feels like it makes sense after spending some time in a graveyard or a forest, and it becomes easier to square a circle. Anyway, that was just a little diatribe on my part, a little speech. I hope that you found this interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to share this wherever you want. Hit that like button down there. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm notices me. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and hope all of you have a wonderful day.